Welcome to Beyond the Pages, where every story breathes life and every silence speaks volumes. Today, we unravel a mystery wrapped in silence. Alicia Berenson, a celebrated painter, wife, and daughter, was found standing over her husband's body and gun still in her hand. 6 shots fired, 5 in his face, and then nothing. She never spoke another word. Imagine a London evening, cold, rainy streets and flickering streetlights. Alicia and Gabriel Berenson arrived home from a gallery opening. They are picture perfect, in love, and everyone loves them. Inside the sleek beige walls of their house, something snaps. Suddenly, we hear the shots. Gabriel falls, Alicia stands silent, no screams, nothing, only silence. Then the police arrive, she's taken to the Grove, which is a secure forensic unit. She keeps painting and painting, but she doesn't speak at all. Her most beautiful work was a blood-red self-portrait titled Alcestis, after the Greek myth of a wife who sacrifices herself for her husband. What do you think drove this gentle artist to violence and then to total silence? Then we have Dr. Theo Faber, a forensic psychotherapist with his own scars, a childhood neglect and a career built on saving others. When Theo reads Alicia's case, he doesn't see a criminal. He sees a masterpiece of pain. He believes that he needs to help her and he needs to hear her voice. He applies the transfers to the Grove. His colleagues warn him that she wants to speak, she can't speak, but Theo insists. The Grove was old. Once it was a country manor, now locked gates and barred windows. Within its faded elegance lived the silent patience, those committed after violent acts. Alicia was the star. Her silence was more powerful than any other confession. Theo walks its corridors at dawn. He sees her alone in Studio 5, surrounded by unfinished canvases, each scream of color a cry for help. He begins to speak, to her paintings, to her journals, to the staff, and to anyone who will listen. To understand Alicia, Theo gets the fragments together. First, her diary. Written before the shooting, it was filled with love letters to Gabriel. Then, her therapist notes. Her previous therapist, Martin, wrote of traces of her childhood trauma. The family ties. Alicia's half-brother, Max, abandoned her in her childhood, leaving her feeling invisible. Then her neighbors and friends, they saw no cracks in her world. Each account contradicts the next. Her diary speaks of devotion. Martin describes a cold, distant child. Max reveals she revealed nothing about her pain until the night she shot her husband. Theo conducts one-on-one sessions, non-verbal but never silent. He tried to watch her every gesture, every painting stroke. He grows convinced that there is a language in her silence. Why Alcestis' portrait was the most important painting in Alicia's canvases? Because in Euripides' tragedy, Alcestis offers her life for her husband's. She dies in his place, only to be risked later. Her love is self-sacrificial, silent, and eternal. Alicia's self-portrait shows a woman with stitched lips, beauty marred by pain. This makes Theo think, did Alicia see herself as her own Alcestis? Did she feel the weight of silent sacrifice? With time, Theo's quest becomes an obsession. He takes Alicia home to his own dark manor for a weekend workshop, which was against protocol. He sets up dinner for Gabriel's anniversary. He draws her out with personal tales about his fear of abandonment, his guilt over his own failures. He steps too close to her silence and descends into his own. And then, the twist. Max Berenson receives a package, Alicia's actual diary from the night before the murder. Theo tracks him down, desperate to prevent the disclosure. When he reads Alicia's words, the ground shifts. Alicia did not kill Gabriel in jealous rage. She killed him to protect a secret, a one that threatened to destroy her world. In her final diary entry, she names her attacker. A man in black, a face I knew, a man who crept into our home, a man who... the one I trusted the most. It was found out that through his investigation, Theo discovers that Alicia had reported feeling watched and believed that someone was stalking her. This culminated in a traumatic event where a masked intruder tied up both Alicia and Gabriel, forcing Gabriel to choose between his life and Alicia's. Gabriel's choice to save himself leads Alicia to feel an immense sense of betrayal. Alicia documents these events in her diary, which becomes a crucial piece of evidence. And in a dramatic twist, it's revealed that Theo himself was the masked intruder. His actions were driven by jealousy upon discovering his wife Kathy's affair with Gabriel. Theo's confrontation with the couple leads to the traumatic event that triggers Alicia's silence and subsequent murder of Gabriel. Fearing exposure, Theo administers a morphine overdose to Alicia, attempting to silence her permanently. However, Alicia survives, and her diary detailing the events and Theo's involvement is discovered and handed over to the authorities, leading to Theo's arrest. What does the silent patient teach us? That silence can be a prison, that trauma hides in plain sight, that trust, once broken, scars are deeper than any bullet. Theo's journey reveals that the healer can be the wound, and that sometimes the only way to break silence is to let the truth speak. This was Beyond the Pages, where the quietest voices often carry the heaviest stories. If you're listening now, remember, within every silence, a story waits to be told. Until next time, keep listening and never underestimate the power of what lies unsaid.